When I first ordered Seint makeup, I was so excited that I piled my cart so full of makeup products that I looked at the total and thought, oh, I cannot get any more and I can't afford the brushes right now. So I looked around and found some that were labeled as Seint Brush Dupes on Amazon. Today I'm going to trial two different versions to see how they stack up to the actual Seint brushes. The first one is this one by King Mass, and it is a pack of two different brushes. They are labeled foundation brush and they sell on Amazon for $12. The first brush that comes in that pack from King Mass looks a little bit on the tip like the top of the Seint 3D brush. As you can tell, this one is quite a bit fatter and a little bit shorter in the brushes. The bristles in this one end, it is completely different from the more rounded end. This is definitely like a tapered flat one, and this one does have a little bit more round and fluffiness, and then just like a flat on that end as well. So they are fairly different. They are not as dense, but they are nice and soft. So we'll see. I'll try putting on some makeup with them and see how they go. The second set from Duo Care also has one that apparently is based off of the 3D brush. It does look quite a bit more like it on the ends, with a fluffy end and the tapered end. They're about the same in size. This one is not as dense. It's a little bit less dense. And then this one is definitely more tightly packed than the Duo Care, but other in looks and shape, they're fairly similar. It also comes with a second brush that has a very fluffy end, and the closest I would compare that to is it's kind of in the middle between the blush end and the bronzer end. In the feel, it's much more like the bronzer end, but it's just not as big. So as I said earlier, when I first bought Seint makeup, I could not afford to buy the brushes right away. And so this Duo Care pair was actually the brush set that I bought and used until I was able to get my Seint brushes. And actually, I still a lot of times will use this one because for some reason I really like the density of this end for blending and applying my makeup brush. So it's not a bad deal for $14 for the two of them. And if you cannot afford the Seint brushes, it is a great starting place. It will get your makeup on. It won't be as perfect. And I definitely would miss if I didn't have my detail brush because I use this every single day. But if you're just getting started and want to make your dollar stretch a little bit further, it is not a bad place to start. So I'm going to do this half of my face with the King Mass ones and the other half of my face with my Duo Care, and we'll talk about it at the end.
You said never let me go. 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 You said
There we have it. Try and get a little bit of close-up so you can see the coverage. My initial impressions overall, these brushes, I know it seems silly, these King Mass ones, they're actually quite a lot heavier than these. That could be, I guess, a good thing or a bad thing for you. For me, I felt like when I'm just trying to use like the tips of my fingers, they felt a little bit heavy and clunky. The other thing is with both the flat ends, I don't typically use a flat-ended brush when I'm putting on my cream makeup, and so I felt like I only didn't use those and really only had two ends to work with. The other thing is I mean, they're both really cheap brushes, or they're all really cheap brushes, but this one, I don't know if you can see, it's already got some like little bristles sticking out everywhere. It just doesn't seem quite as well put together. These Duo Care ones, as I said, maybe it's because I'm familiar with them. I've used them before. I did like these better because you have this end that goes down small, and then I have an end for blending, like a big fluffier end for bronzer, and then this one I used for the blush. So I felt like I had quite a bit of options with this, and the bristles feel a little bit more soft on my cheeks. So I just like the way that feels on my skin. I can tell you that I have been using this one, I've still been using it almost daily for about a year, and it's held up pretty well with all the washing and everything with that. So, you know, for 14 bucks, I don't think it's going to last for forever, and it's definitely not nearly as high of quality as the Seint brushes. But if you are looking for a cheap, inexpensive option, I would definitely recommend these Duo Care brushes, the two for $14. It's a great way to get you started. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.